Welcome to a new video. So I recently saw It, the modern adaptation of the Stephen King novel of the same name, as well as sort of a remake of the classic 1990s miniseries. So I haven't seen too many scary, spooky films myself, but I can already tell this is going to go down in history as at least one of the best horror movies of recent times. So with that, let's get into the review. It takes place in the quiet town of Derry, Maine in the year 1989. After a kid with a stutter, Bill, discovers his brother Georgie has gone missing. He teams up with his friends Ben, Beverly, Richie, Mike, and Stan that describe their group as the Losers Club in order to find him. Together they team up to discover the mystery of the town's many disappearances. Along the way, the team have several encounters with a shape-shifting entity they call It, whose main form is Pennywise, the dancing clown. And that's really all you need to know. This film is a journey throughout and doesn't just establish itself from the get-go. It takes you along on a ride. Without further ado, let's get into what makes that ride so unique and so well done. Horror movies are famous for establishing a team of characters, but oftentimes they just serve as artificial devices to keep the plot moving. But this film does none of that. All of these characters are kids, preteens even, and they all have their individual lives and motivations as characters, which makes for a very interesting dynamic for the villain because he feeds off of what they fear most in order to survive. Bill is very vulnerable, showcased by his stutter and his desire to find his little brother. Beverly is scared to death of a creepy, over-attached father. Ben was in solitude, constantly fearing the torment of bullies and wanting to uncover the mysterious tragedies of the town. Mike is haunted by the gruesome death of his parents and scared of becoming a working-class zombie, slaughtering sheep for a living. Eddie is scared of literally everything because of his helicopter mom and made worse by his asthma. And Stan is scared of a Jewish painting. Well, you can't win them all, guys. You can't win them all. All of the characters, even if they're minor ones, just supporting ones, all of them have a reason for being in this film. They don't just feel shoehorned in to cash in on an existing franchises. They're all three-dimensional. They all serve a little purpose, even if they're not, having as much screen time as, the big boys of the crowd. And, of course, that's what makes this film so engaging and separates it from being just a, 2-hour gore jump scare fest. Which, speaking of which, let's get into that. There are a surprising amount of jump scares in this movie. I'd even say that's the main tactic of fright they implement. But you know what makes these jump scares different? They're not lame! Many spooks in this movie, if you will, feel very well set up. They change them up a lot, which makes it a little more interesting than, say, your Annabelles, your Bye-Bye Mans, stuff like that. For instance, Beverly is actually a subject of one of these scenes, one of these scares. So after a violent encounter with her father, Beverly hides in the bathroom, and her creepy father is sort of edging towards the bathroom door, opens it, is sort of aware she's hiding in the shower, and so peels the curtain. Beverly hits him. Even though you're sort of expecting it, you don't expect it to be that sudden and that, planned, because, she's a teenage girl, but they surprise you even when they're not. The combination of great sound mixing, some really interesting music composition, it all builds up for the perfect amount of suspense. And of course, after Beverly gets out of the shower, it's like, boom, Pennywise standing right next to her. It's out of the corner of your eye, and if you look away, you miss it. And that's why this film doesn't make you want to go to the bathroom and, miss anything, because it's always throwing stuff at you. Every scene is supposed to be there. It makes complete sense, and that's why it would be interesting when this comes out on Blu-ray to see some of the deleted scenes. But it's something new every single time. However, after the first scene, all of the other scenes sort of pale in comparison, but I think that's intentional. It was supposed to be the perfect opening to a movie. So Georgie just got this boat waxed in, so he's ready to go. He's walking around, the boat's in the water, it's traveling, boom, gets hit by one of those roadblock thingies, whatever you call them. Okay, yeah, alright, it's just a random little thing, thing they threw in there. He keeps walking. Oh no! The boat is flying into this sewer. As you can see, they've made several events sort of intersperse, so they're not just getting directly to the point. And he sort of looks in there for a while, and then camera angle, Pennywise shows up. But they keep talking for a while. Georgie's not all that scared. They're having a nice little creepy conversation, of course, to build up the suspense. Pennywise is describing the circus. They're talking about popcorn. Pop, 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 pop. Georgie says, oh, I have to go. And Pennywise is like, without your boat? And so Georgie is sort of reaching for it. He's a little scared now. Now he's sort of on the verge of tears. He's sort of reaching for it, but he thinks he can trust the clown, but he sort of can't, so he's just reaching for it reluctantly, and then, of course, jaws come out, snap, his arm's off. He's sprawling over the ground, crying, and then Pennywise just sort of grabs him and stuffs him down the sewer. Blood, just a stream of blood coming out from under. And it's a near perfect scene. Because of the doubt you have in your mind. It's just like, oh, are they just going to have a normal conversation? And it doesn't pull back any punches. It shows everything. It doesn't care that he's a little kid. No. Shows all of that, and it adds to the horror. For anyone that's trying to make a horror movie, just look at how they set up these scenes. That's the most crucial part of a horror movie, is you gotta have some good scares, but you also need some personality behind it. Now you may be wondering, is this version better than the 1990s one? And while I can't definitively answer that question because I haven't seen it, I'm of a new generation that hasn't had any familiarity with the It franchise until now. But judging from the trailer, I'd have to say no. When I judge films like Friday the 13th or Nightmare on Elm Street, the argument I hear is, but it was a different time. It was scary for the time. No, I'm not talking about special effects. I'm not talking about any of that. I just don't think it's a competently made movie. There were scary films before it, There was Poltergeist. They put the budget together, and while, compared to now, of course, it's nothing, but, I mean, it's reasonably scary. They weren't lazy. And so, when you make a not that great film, you can't just lower your standards because, it's the 80s, we couldn't do all of this yet. Yeah, but you can still put in a little more to make it a little more terrifying. Also, why did they put Tim Curry as Pennywise? I know this is sort of the iconic version of Pennywise, most, millennials and stuff know, but really? Do you just look at a clown and think, oh yeah, what would go great with that? An Italian monster voice. It's like, yo, float too! Yo, float too! Yeah, no, that's not scary. That's goofy. But, the tone of the trailer just feels, really, silly and lighthearted, to be honest. I mean, somehow it managed to be less scary than Beetlejuice. And, of course, it was made for TV, so they couldn't get away with much. But, I mean, still, they could have... I know there's sort of a nostalgia factor for the time because a lot of, kids could see it because, it was on TV, it was free. But you just gotta take time to recognize, I think there's a reason the newer one has a higher rating on IMDb. Anyway, guys, that's gonna do it for my It 2017 review. I have some other movie-related stuff in the works. One's a video essay about an older film I saw recently. It's sort of like a review, but with more of a theme. And also some bigger movie reviews, a la Ralph the Movie Maker. Some good, some bad. Yeah, we'll see what happens. But anyway, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like. If you like my videos for some reason, you can hit that subscribe button, the bell button. No, I will not be doing gift card giveaways. Sorry to disappoint, but I'm a poor Jewish boy. And anyways, I will see you in the next video, and mighty roar. Ooh.